Another change of shirt by the heavy sweater. And a youthful beard seems to be growing as the match goes on. I think he's looking on this match in a rather different light now. First set almost to rochus. Really almost earned it. Brilliant play by Rafter to pull back and win it. And the second set very much easier for Rafter. And a few more unforced errors coming from rochus. Still playing the occasional brilliant shots.
I'll tell you what, Rafter's changed pretty much everything there. His shoes, his socks, his shirt. I'll tell you what, if he changed anything else, this crowd would go delirious.
Yes. Getting quite a few sort of ironic cheers at the moment, isn't he?
Well, that's you, Billy. You just changed your shirt. Just got you up on the TV screen up there on the big screens here on the Arthur Ashe court.
Is that a fact? I'm not looking.
Women are going nuts here in New York. Rochus is ready. Rafter's almost there.
The men in black prepare for battle in the third set. They've been on court for 1 hour and 17 minutes. Good try. He's a long way away from the net though, and going diagonally. You've got to lift it more.
15.
Rochus has had the advantage of serving first in all 3 sets.
Doesn't count it for much in the end, does it?
Well, I'm surprised he didn't make that.
30-15.
Been that type of evening really for Rafter. He's just never managed to play well enough to make it completely comfortable. Done enough.
40-15.
No, took it just that bit too early and hit it just that bit too high. Rochus 1 love.
First game, third service.
It's been a model of concentration tonight, Rafter, because he's had to deal with quite a bit of adversity really throughout the course of the match. He hasn't been plain sailing by any means. Rochus, if he is going to mount a comeback here, he's going to have to start pretty quickly, get on top of Rafter in this set.
Once again, that's 2 volleys, 2 bad volleys by his standards. In the volley department, you judge Rafter at very, very higher standards. thought Rafter had gone the wrong way there. But the passing shot that time just did not have the sting from Rochus.
There's one real weakness, isn't it, in Rochus's game, is that he doesn't have like the genuine power to blast it past Rafter like an Agassi or a Sampras.
Very good athletic high backhand put away. Yeah, Rafter finds that sort of movement very simple. Just floats into position.
Serve and volley is all about instinctive play. You don't have very much time to think about what you want to do with your first volley, and that's where Rafter is so good. Rochus, if he's going to win this match, he's got to come back from 2 sets to love down, but he's done it before against Justin Gimmelstob at the Australian Open, beginning of the year, 9-7 in the 5th. Gimmelstob has always had an eventful afternoon.
He certainly did today. In fact, there's a little bit of a scandal going on about the ending of Gimmelstob's match with Tabara. Tabara allegedly, in fact, admitting to spitting in his opponent's direction. And it hasn't been a very nice story.
Saying to Gimmelstob that he should go and make a movie because he's such a great actor. Gimmelstob calling timeouts for injuries and everything else, although it's to be said that everybody thinks they were pretty genuine injuries, but Tabara wasn't particularly happy with him. It upset his rhythm. Gimmelstob, always one for a bit of one-upmanship, said, well, funnily enough, I had a call from Dustin Hoffman. He said he was a good friend who wants me to help a script writer out on a movie about tennis. So Gimmelstob, as usual, has the last word.
Quite a character. Just a little bit too casual. He's a sort of natural performer, this one. He looks as though, you know, he could pick up any game and probably play it well. And he just looked a bit casual trying these touch volleys. Didn't really get down to it. Not that he has far to get down. He's making a mistake again of playing shots in the backhand tram lines to on his forehand. He had a long way to run then, and maybe he's running out of steam. He's run an awful long way. So Rafter with 2 sets behind him and a break in the 3rd set, looking good at the moment. It's fairly obvious he seems to have found his service rhythm now. Great return of serve.
Really has returned the serve well tonight. tribute to how well Rafter served that he's managed to hold on to it so often.
40,
That serve there has just won him the match, really. It's got him out of trouble when Rochus has had him under pressure. I do feel as though Rochus hasn't gone over and covered it enough tonight. You can't keep letting him hit it. He's on a good rhythm with it as well, Rafter, now,
game, rafter.
as he is with that one.
Fabulous serving game, his best service game of the match. Still at 60%, first serves in.
Rafter leads 3 games to 1.
Very few love games in this match, though. Oh, well played. Screwed that round from nowhere, really.
15 love.
Very clever shot. I certainly expected him to hit that back down to the backhand. Huge gap
15
there.
all.
Good play against a small man, using the angles there, Rafter. It's not something that he's particularly comfortable with, but he does it well against the likes of a Rochus or a Santoro when he needs to.
Correction, play the ball.
No arguments there. Overall from the umpire. Been a very unobtrusive umpire, which is always a good sign, I think, as in a soccer match. When you don't notice them, they've done a good job. He's done very, very few shots like that, massive mishits. Model of consistency for most of the match. Yes, well jumped. Just because he's small doesn't mean to say he's lobbable.
30 all.
Exactly the right shot here from Rochus down the line. Cuts down the angles and the options for Rafter. Back pedals well.
Inopportune time to do that. Only his second. Rafter's only served one double fault in the match. And here's a point for the double break.
Game, rafter.
Frightened into that error by the advance of Rafter, and there is the double break, and that might well signal the beginning of the end.
Rafter leads 4 games to 1.
Rafter 2 sets up and 4-1.
Just feel as though Rochus' spirit is broken now. It's been a good fight by him, although the scoreline says it's 6-2. It was a lot closer than that in the second set, but in the third set it's definitely been a 4-1 set so far. He looks as though the beliefs just dropped away quite dramatically, and the thought of trying to win this in 5 is almost impossible for him. But we've seen glimpses of a good quality pro out here. He's got the shots, he comes up with it, but it's the consistency and the ability to produce it time and time again, and that's what Rafter's all about. He's about coming in and forcing you to come up with the shot all the time, and over the course of 5 sets, even the likes of Andre Agassi have come up a little short at times.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, when you look at the papers tomorrow and you see a possible scoreline, we're looking ahead here of 3 comparatively easy sets to Rafter. It has not been like that at all.
No, it certainly hasn't. I mean, if he'd got the first set, it's a completely different sort of mindset for both players and momentum. And as you can see here, Rochus very quickly out of his chair. He's he's wanting to get back into the city. There's no rush because obviously New York is a city that never sleeps, so whatever he wants to do back there will still be open.
And you'll probably be there as well.
You never know, Billy. Stranger things have happened. Could even be tucked up in bed.
This has been a masterclass in how to turn a match round by Pat Rafter. That's why he's the player he is and the character he is. And this young man is very much better than his ranking. Yep, that was in. Pounced on it, Rafter, as usual. Oh, he nearly made it. That's what he was doing in the early stages of this match. He was producing the most glittering passing shots and returns of serve.
Rafter leads 5 games to 1.
So he's on a roller coaster ride to victory now, Pat Rafter. 1 hour and 38 minutes, and it looked as though it might have well have been from the beginning a 4-set match or a 5-set match.
Low 15.
You cannot get a better approach shot than that. Just skidded down the line.
I think that look said it all from Rochus. He knows it's all but over now.
Grinning happily as though he's winning.
15-30.
Nice demeanor on court. Almost amateur. Comes from a family, medical family. Father a doctor, mother a dentist. Crowd getting excited because they see the ending. Second serve, 1-5, 30 all. Well, there he is again in the tram lines, playing forehands from that corner. And it's brought up match point to Rafter, and the crowd have really come alight now because they want to see a bit more of this. It's been pretty entertaining stuff. That's wide 2, and Rafter goes through.
3 sets to love.
And I would think pretty relieved.
6-2, 6-1.
So you see the disparity in size there. It's a heavyweight. You see those things at every Australian Davis Cup tie, usually about 5,000 people all carrying a kangaroo. And they really do travel around the world and support their players. And who can blame them, because he's got to be the most popular and pleasantest figure really in tennis. So there we are. Pat Rafter, as expected, the high seed, seeded 6th in this tournament, puts away that little figure of Christophe Rochus, who did himself proud, I think. Really played some magnificent shots that began to fold at the end under pressure. And so Rafter goes through in 3 straight sets, getting easier all the time. 7-5, 6-2, 6-1.